Something profound is shifting beneath our feet, and you are inherently woven into its sacred unfolding. Welcome, beautiful souls, to step into your power. The portal is open, and the new ground is forming, and you are part of it. I'm sure we're all feeling that. I'm Brother Jimmy, and here with me is Sister Honey Golden. You all know her. She's got so many people watching her. And right now, it's interesting. I just have the video on again, but we're good to go. So together we are here to hold space for this powerful truth. The new ground is forming. We all can feel it. It's shaking, and it's going to shake more. And we're going to talk about all this tonight and how you can thrive through this. You don't have to barely survive through it. You don't have to die through it. You can absolutely thrive through it. And you are an essential part of this creation. You are so important for this. Today, we explore what it means to stand on this sacred emerging earth. We invite you to lean into this moment with us. Feel the energy, open your heart. If this resonates with you, please like the video. And if you feel good about it, share it with others, help others. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, please do. We've got more stuff coming. And we're going to now talk to Sister Honey, and then we're going to begin in our segments today. We got 5 different segments. We're going to be talking about some really powerful stuff. But let's go to our sister here, and she can fill us in on this crazy roller coaster of energy ride we're all going on now.
It is really wild. I will say the nervous system has been going through a lot of machinations, like up and down and up and down. And I think that really just stay within yourself as much as you can right now. We feel like we're on the edge of something rather profound and really kind of big. And whatever that is, because let's let the universe decide what it is. And be surprised and let it be ugly if it's ugly, and don't get involved with it, because we need to have change happen. So the less quantum entangled you can be with that change, with the details of the change, the better off you're going to be, and the better off the world is going to be, because we won't be interfering with the shift. We're just going to let it happen. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot right now. And the timelines that are splitting away are really loud and pretty angry right now. So stay as far away from them as you can, I would say. Yeah.
Focus on the good. Focus on the good. My lovely, beautiful Cindy, and I put another prayer request in for her today. She's been going through like a roller coaster. And I mean, I look at myself, decades of experience in the spiritual side of the equation. My son is 43, Tommy, and he'll tell you, I was talking to him about that when he was very young. I always was talking about it. And then over 5 years of Tai Chi Gong, breathing and working on my energy portals and being able to move energy. And I got to tell you, myself, I'm like overdrive with grounding, overdrive with handling this roller coaster. So I, feel for those folks that have not been doing what you have been doing, Sister Honey, and myself for many, 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 many years. And I'm watching it, in the front row seat with my beloved. And it's not a fun thing seeing where people are feeling really great and, they're doing great. And then the next thing you know, they're knocked right off the horse and they're back into not doing great. And so I want to talk about that too before we go into our first segment. And then ask everybody also, if you feel good, if you're part of the community, please share this. Share it now. Let's get as many people on this live as possible. If you're watching the replay, please share that also. It's really important. Fill up your positive energy bucket. Do good. I tell people, you got to do good. You got to do good, because the more good you do, the more good you get. Understand how to play the game here on planet Earth. It's really important that you do that. But Sister Honey, what's your advice for that roller coaster ride? Because it is extreme. I mean, again, I'm seeing it, not only firsthand with my beloved, but also with people in the community where they're doing really well. And then, you can see that up and down.
So I would say two things. One, work with your body. So get grounded, do your breathing, do your meditation, set your body up right in the morning so it's calm, and don't just hit the ground running. Try and get your body set up so it's in a good space. Your nervous system's happy in the morning. And the other thing I would say is don't be afraid of your shadows. So now is the time where we are looking at our parallels and we're healing them. Now is the time that we are looking at our shadows and we're sending them home to be healed instead of being mad at them and blasting them with energy. We're sending them off to be healed because they're a part of ourselves. If you're experiencing ghosts in your house, you're sending them home. You're calling in your angels, you're calling in your guides, and you're saying, can you help me out with this situation? I need some help sending them back so that they can be healed. And basically being a sovereign being and knowing how powerful you are. So letting go of fear. So let go of fear and deal with whatever comes up, and work with your nervous system and your body every day. And you're going to get through this really beautifully.
Yeah, I agree. And it's interesting that you said that about, the spirits. People don't understand that we see very little. That post that you put up, I think about a week ago with the crow, was a black crow. And then when you looked at it where you really could see the crow was beautiful, it was purple and all kinds of different colors. So we think we see everything, but we really don't see anything. And we need to understand that the power of our words, I mean, life and death is in the tongue and you shall eat the fruit of it. So what are you speaking to yourself? What are you speaking to your DNA, your cells, your energy centers? And like Sister Honey just said, are you calling on these angels that you have that are assigned to you? Are you calling on your spiritual family? Are you calling on your spirit guides? Are you calling on the divine creator, the source of all life and breath? You can. You're worthy enough to do it. If you're not, you don't think you are, you absolutely are. And it makes life so much easier when you really build that relationship. It's interesting. Sister Renee, was having a conversation with one of the team members, Sister Antoinette, which you know.
Yeah.
She actually helped you build your beautiful honeyseagolden.com website. And I was talking to her because she's a person that's really been bringing people to the light. And, she's very involved in the church. And I love the church as long as what you're doing in there is doing good. But the church in different religions has been responsible for a lot of horrific situations.
Oh, yeah.
And it ain't about the religion, it's about the relationship, right? It's about the relationship, building that relationship. And if you're not speaking to these beings, these spiritual beings, the divine creator, your soul family, your guardian angels, all of that, why aren't you? You should be, because it's powerful and it will shift your life and change your life. It's so powerful, but the ground is shifting. It is a new, Earth is, wow, she's shaking. I mean, even physically shaking all over the world. What's going on with volcano eruptions, what's going on with earthquakes, what's going on with the weather. My son said to me, he said, Dad, you talk about these things. Like if you go to my personal small YouTube channel, I never built it. I just threw stuff up there. But where I had the Patriot Llama show, and if you listen to things I was talking about 4 or 5 years ago, it's happening now. And the only reason that I knew that was I was tuned into it based on the frequency. It's just like tuning into a radio. And you have the ability to tune into everything that Sister Honey tunes into. You have the ability to tune into everything that I tune into. if you're working on yourself and you're working on that relationship and you're working on that frequency and you're really doing the things. One of the things I love in the community, and I want to call her out here, Sister Nancy, just amazing infographics and stuff that are so beautiful for people in that circle. And I'm going to show a testimonial here, folks, in a little bit when I talk about the community. Sister Honey, I talk about the community after our first segment. But just amazing things happening and amazing shares happening in there. How do you feel, Sister Honey? Because you helped me. You're one of the co-founders here of Step Into Your Power, along with my son Tommy and myself. How do you feel? I mean, it's really beautiful.
I feel good. Yeah. I feel good. I'm excited. I'm excited about everything falling apart that we don't need anymore.
Yes.
And to go forward with the things that we want. And I feel like we're in a really pivotal moment. I did a show with Kelly, the astrologer, yesterday. And the astrology, the planets are beings as well. And they are really giving us energy to create change. The biggest thing that we can do is get out of the way. And what I'm talking about is quantum entanglement. So imagine that everybody wants this one cake. So we'll do the birthday cake since it's your birthday. So
you told people it was my birthday. Okay.
Yeah, it's your birthday. I told everybody in the chat. So, so happy birthday to Jimmy. And let's imagine that everybody wants a piece of that cake. Right? But there's 2,000 people that want a piece of that cake. How's that going to work out? And everybody wants theirs to be a certain size. And that cake can't accommodate all of that. So what does it look like when we want an event to go a certain way? And we attach a little energetic cord to it and we say, I want it to look like this. And then another person comes up and says, no, I want it to look like this. And then another person comes up and sticks another cord on there. And by the time we're done, every awakened being that has an idea that something could happen on this day or whatever, this is why I don't talk about dates, has attached their idea of what it should look like to it. And what does it do? It tears it apart and it doesn't happen. So relax, focus on you, and let the world just disintegrate on its own. The 3D matrix, just let it fall apart on its own. We don't need to get too involved in that.
Well, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon.
Yeah.
And if you look at Pluto in Aquarius, you go back and go into ChatGPT, go into Gemini, go into any of them you want, and go over the last 2,000 years when that thing has been in, Pluto in Aquarius, happens every 248 years. It goes around the sun, Pluto does. And the earth has changed dramatically. All the pillars of society has been shaken to the core. And this time around, it's bigger than it's ever been. And where we're headed is going to be really a wild ride. But at the end of it, if you're not focusing on the fear, but you're focusing on the divine, you're focusing on yourself. I said this to one of the other teammates the other day. He had a lot of issues going on in his life. And I said, your first most important thing is your relationship with the divine, the source, whatever you call it. God's too small. We all call God at the highest level, but it's almost really a name that's too small for it. The Tao says you can't even name it because everything lives in it. It's like the whole existence is a fishbowl. We're all the fish in it, and the divine is the fishbowl and the water. Without it, we're all done, Mm-hmm. But I was saying, the most important thing that you do, there's two things that are most important. Is one, your relationship with the divine, right? That's the number one most important thing. And number two is you. You. Love you. Take care of you. Pamper you. And make sure that everything else in your life fits your higher self. Because if it doesn't, cast it away. You don't need it. You're not going to save everybody. You know, I used to have that savior complex too, Sister Honey, where I thought I could sacrifice myself to save everyone else. But that's not true, because you got to take care of yourself. You got to save you. Save you. And by you saving you and building your relationship with the divine, believe me, just your presence, just what you're doing will help others lift others, like what's going on in stepinyourpower.com. It's amazing. But let me go ahead and get into this first segment here. Welcome to the Emerging Truth. And we're going to talk about receiving the sacred invitation to this gathering. So if you're here with us right now, live or replay, it's for a reason. You know, you're intended. Nothing happens just because it happens. It happens for a reason. Everything is, you know, for a reason. So if you found this video or you're part of the community, it's for a reason. And our collective presence as a new beginning, the felt sense of the ground shifting, we all feel that, and affirming our identity as conscious participants. So, you know, let's talk about feeling the ground shifting, because everybody, I feel a sense of everybody is on the edge, you know, because they are tuned into the worldly news, the politics, all of that stuff, and not realizing all of this new stuff that's going on, all those beautiful things that are happening. What do you feel about that? You know, with the people, you know, they do feel the ground shifting. They don't know what to do. And I mean, we talked about that a little bit, but, you know, what is the solution for them? You know, you got to be like that horse with the blinders on, you just focus on the good. Forget about all this noise. Forget about all this fear porn. Spend that time focusing on you and your environment and all of that.
So what I would say is totally focus more inward and on your own thing that you're creating, your own life, and watch what is good for you, what makes you feel good. And if something comes in that's chaotic, then say to yourself, well, I'm glad that's getting cleared up, right? It's good if things come up. They have to come up to the surface. And it's not always pretty, but they need to be cleared. So if you're having a hard time in a relationship, or you're having a hard time with something, then start saying, well, I'm glad it's clearing now. And I'm looking forward to what it looks like as it clears away. And let it fall apart, whatever it is. And either that's a relationship with someone that they are choosing a different timeline. That could be a business that's not working, a job that's not working. Know that you're supported by the universe. You are the universe. That's the thing. Like, you live inside the universe and you're made up of the universe. So you have every right to know that you're going to be okay. This whole paradigm of Earth in the 3D, the dysmorphic, I don't know what to call it, but the distorted matrix was created to keep us in the 3D. We're not in the 3D anymore. So we need to let go of the 3D things, the consciousness of the 3D. And as we do that, it's going to change the way that we go through life, and it's going to get better and better. So really think about that while we're going through this, and let go of the crappy stuff. We don't need it. And a lot of it is not even for us to see. We already knew about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, all these things have been going on for a long time. I mean, thousands and thousands of years they've been going on. But, you know, one thing about it says, we're talking about our collective presence as a new beginning. And, you know, what that means to me, and I want to ask what that means to you, Sister Honey, is that no one is alone in this. Mm-mm. When you are here right now with us, you have a community that you have access to for free that you'll look at and you won't believe what's in there for free. And it's all done for you. And, you know, it's interesting because as we started building that whole thing out, I thought, okay, well, I'm doing this for other people and I want to help other people. I've always been like that. But at the end of the day, it's helped me so much myself. So as we are a collective together in this new beginning, we got to come together in community. We are so much more powerful and so much stronger when we are a collective. It's so important. We got to get back to talking to each other. We got to get back to sending positive energy to each other and loving each other. We really do. We really do. A lot of that has been numbed with all the frequencies they're hitting us with and all of the indoctrination and all of that going on. It's numbed a lot of people to, you know, that fact, and community and our collective presence in this new beginning is critical. It's critical.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, Sister Honey?
Well, community is the next step. So think about some of the things that have happened to us. We were forced to look at ourselves. We were forced to go inward. And we've been on this healing journey, which is kind of like a hero's journey. You know, it's really wild. It's been a really wild journey for a lot of us for several years. And I've known since I was a child who grew up in a community, which was pretty dysfunctional, but it still was better than what was outside of the community. It was safer. It was more, you could just do more there. So think about what community actually is. A lot of people, they will be in the same soul family and they'll come together and be in a community together because they're together in the evening when their soul leaves the body. So then they'll get to be together here and they'll learn how to communicate here. But those communities are going to be part of communication hubs for people. So community is the next step in our evolution. And in order to have a community, you have to let go of judgments of everybody all the time, jealousy, all of those lower consciousness, you know, on the consciousness scale, they're in the lower end of that. Those are the things we're letting go of because we are actually all one being. And to learn how to communicate with each other, think about your body. What if your cells wouldn't talk to each other? Or they always misunderstood each other? What does that cause? It causes a disease, right? So what are we doing? We're clearing that up right now. And Earth was created to be a communication planet. And that means learning how to be together and communicate and not freak out on each other about silly things. And we've seen the division and we're seeing how the timelines are getting ready to group up. They're grouped up and some of them are getting ready to leave, right? So it is going to be more in harmony, but it will also be work to think about, okay, they don't get what I mean, so how can I reword it to make it work? And how can we cooperate with each other and have a beautiful community together?
Yeah, it's so important. You know, over here in Las Terrenas in Dominican Republic, I have my Reiki master here today. He was working on my shoulders and the energy, because you have a lot of energy coming up. And my throat chakra or energy center here in my throat, he was working on that and all of that stuff. I could literally feel this guy's energy, this brother's energy. I mean, it was amazing. And, you know, how they do that and they do it on the back of your head. And I'm so excited that more and more of this information is coming out about energy wellness, and like what we got with the quantum healing, and the energy wellness company we're involved in, and people understanding that you are an energy being and you need to take care of your energy hygiene. Sister Nancy put up a great infographic. Man, these infographics have been on fire. ChatGPT upgraded their image creation software, and I got to tell you, the things coming into the community now is even at a higher level. These infographics, and it was all about, their home, how to protect the energetic energy of your home.
Oh, yeah.
Yourself, your home, and all that, and it was a really wonderful, infographic, just beautiful, beautiful. But another thing that people do not feel, I don't think a lot of people, is they don't feel they're a participant in what's going on. And you need to really identify that you are a participant, and you are a very important participant in what's going on. And if you're working on your relationship with the divine, and you're working on yourself, and you're increasing your own frequency, you are helping the collective in a big way, more than you even know. One person doing that affects hundreds. Okay. So imagine, we have the song my son, put together, and then he just amazing song, 144,000 awakening. Now there's way more than that. It's just, and it's tuned to 144 hertz, but it's talking about 144,000 awakening souls transforms the planet. There's 8 billion people, whether they're non-character players or first character players or whatever, robotics, whatever they are. There's 8 billion people on this planet, and 144,000 people in this higher frequency, the earth transforms no matter what the other 7 point whatever billion are doing. That it's changing, and everybody's going to have to move with that frequency if they're going to stay in this timeline. You know what I mean? Meaning they're going to be present here with what's going on here, or they'll leave this planet, they'll transcend, and they'll come back again somewhere. I don't know. But, at the end of the day, you got to work on yourself, and you got to understand that you are a participant. You're a conscious participant here in what we're doing here. You would not be here if you weren't. Your thoughts on that before we move to the next segment, Sister Annie?
Well, I just think that, when you think about yourself and you remember who you are, you remember that you are a part of Source, experiencing something in a human body, and give yourself a little bit of grace, because the human body doesn't see or hear a lot of what's going on. And that's shifting. The veil is thinning, but it has to do with the brain. And start thinking about how amazing you are. You're all completely amazing, and start acting that way. Choose love, somebody said in the chat, and that is exactly what I would say, is choose love and go and emote that and get in touch with other people that are doing the same thing. And you can do that and step into your power, because that's what it's there for.
Yeah, it's so powerful. It's so powerful. We're going to show that testimonial because I got permission to do that. I'm actually starting to collect them, and it just, when I read that, I started weeping. And listen, I'm a tough guy, so don't think Brother Jimmy's some like weeping willow or something. But it humbled me. When you read something like that, and the change that that you're part of that happening, because we're all pieces of that puzzle, no one better than any other. That's one thing you need to understand, and understand within yourself. No one is better than you. We are equal. We are all part of the divine. We're in the divine. We're made of the divine, made in my image. We are part of the divine, all of us. So this next segment, anchoring inner stability in shifting landscapes. And we've been talking about some of these things. Sister Honey and I do that all the time. Before we get to a segment, we're talking about it before, but it's okay. We keep this for notes because we don't want to miss anything. We don't want to miss out on anything. But the quiet power, let's talk about this first one, the quiet power of your inner knowing. You touched on this a little bit, and it is powerful when you do know and you walk it. Talk about, Sister Honey, how do people empower that, so they have that inner knowing to know that, yes, I am part of the divine. I am made of the divine. I am special. I am part of this. And I have an importance here.
I would say the first thing I would do is take some time and actually be quiet. So be quiet for like 5 minutes in the morning when you just wake up and listen and ask, what is the most important thing that I can do for my own growth today? And then you'll get some sort of answer. You'll get a picture. You may get silence. And if you get silence, then just ask for a color to come in. And then go and look up what that color means. Color pink is love. Color purple is like a royal, abundant color. So go look those colors up. Ask yourself what it means to you. When I first started talking to my higher self, I got the color pink. That was the first thing. And I just kept talking and asking and taking a little bit of time every day to be still so that I could listen, because it's the still small voice that is your soul trying to talk to you. And you've got more of your soul in your body right now than you've ever had in any lifetime. You've got lifetimes worth of your soul within you right now, because we're in the ascension process. So really just think about, what can I do to take just a few minutes in the morning to set up my day and to talk to my higher self.
Yeah, it's so important, that morning time and that evening time when you're settling down, and those quiet times then and in between them, to really listen. Meditation is about listening and tuning into your higher self and the divine. And we are, inside of our soul, and our soul's inside of us. But our soul is so much bigger than what we are here in 5'10". It's so much bigger than that, and it's really huge, right? Really super huge.
Well, it condenses as it comes down. And think about your toroidal field, which is like 6 feet in every direction. So your soul sits inside of that toroidal field in what I would call like the soul egg. And it's around your body, but it is close. And a soul can shrink to the size, of a rock. So a crystal has consciousness. So remembering that a soul can be whatever size it wants to be is important. Is it comfortable? Not so much. It's not that comfortable. I'm sure that you guys haven't always felt comfortable in this, as we've been in the 3D. It's getting more comfortable now, I will say.
Roller coaster ride, but it's some people are going through it. But yeah, there is a lot more people that I'm seeing in Step Into Your Power that are getting past that, which is really beautiful to see that going on. So how your inner stability becomes your anchor, it's everything, that working on that stability within yourself and knowing who you truly are and what you truly are, and walking that way and talking that way, not bragging, not ego, but knowing. What's your opinion on that, Sister Honey, about that inner stability becoming your anchor to get you through all of this stuff?
Well, it's the most important thing. And you can do that by getting grounded. You can do that by listening to yourself. You can listen to your body. Listen to your gut. Your gut is a message from your soul saying, don't go that way, or yes, go that way. If your gut's doing nothing, then yes, go that way. But if you feel sick to your stomach, sit down and don't go in that direction. We all know that our gut feelings, if we don't listen, they take us into a place that we don't want to be. So remember that and trust yourself and trust your body, because your body is your antenna here. And your body will tell you if it's okay or not okay.
Yes. Yes, it will. And usually all of these things that cause you issues start in your energy body first. So that energy hygiene is so important. And within the Step Into Your Power, you have all of that. You have all of those tools. You have the community support. You have the prayer circle. You have people sending energy. We got Reiki masters in there. We got quantum healing. I mean, there's so many folks in there. Like today, when I was watching what was going, because Cindy was doing, it was just beautiful, meditating, all of that stuff, listening to her Buddha. She loves the Buddha. And then this energy hit again, blast, bam, bam, and Schumann resonance went off the chart. And it was just like knocking somebody off a horse, right? But get back up on it.
I know.
Don't stop. Get back up on it. No matter how hard you get hit, get back up on it. That's so important. So embracing your right to security and belonging, you have the right. Do you embrace it or not?
Yeah.
You need to embrace it. I see so many people talking about lack, or this issue. All you're doing is calling that back into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many, this name game is unbelievable, Sister Honey. You know what I mean? They put all these things, you hear people, the doctor comes up, they talk about, well, you've got this. And then the person, every time you meet them, they say, well, I got this. And they're like wondering why they got it. Well, you keep calling it to yourself. You call in the pain, you call in the disease, you call it in instead of calling it out. You got to learn that you're powerful, and you got to be careful with what you say. Over to you, Sister Honey.
Well, I think it's really important to realize how powerful you are, just like you were saying. And if you are focused on the negative, then there is a wound, there is a trauma, there is a shadow, which can be a trauma from another lifetime. So another piece of you, another piece of your soul that's been, that you across the multiverse, all these little pieces. We're healing the multiverse right now. We're collapsing it into one thing, one timeline. It will split apart again, but we're bringing it in to one, as close to one as we can right now. So the traumatized parts of you, they need to be healed. Within your inner child, which is your human soul, and the big parts of you that have been running around the multiverse, either creating chaos or creating beauty, right? If they're creating beauty and they're doing their thing, they may not show up in your body, right? But the ones that are coming to you, that are standing in your presence and causing irritation in your energetic field, they want to be healed. So ask your angelics to take them home. And you are the one that's the most powerful right now, because you are the one that is in the ascension process.
Yes. Yes. And I think we've already talked about this, the profound beauty of new beginnings. This is beautiful what we're going through. Do not fear it. This new beginning, this new earth is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And you can thrive through all of this. And I want to bring this up real quick here. This is from Sister Angela Matthews, and she put this up on the 11th, as you can see. And you can see that okay, Sister Honey?
I can't read it, but I think it's just because we have a small little screen. that we look at.
Oh yeah. So hopefully everyone can see it. Let me know if you can see it out there in the comments. Can you see that okay? In the comments? I think you can. Just let me know real quick. All right. Well, if you can, I'm going to read it to you. So this came from Sister Angela. She's a very, very wonderful and special person. She puts up so much beautiful, beautiful content to help everybody. It's just amazing. So to my beautiful spiritual family, and this is within the circle, which is the free part of the free power portal in Step Into Your Power. To my beautiful spiritual family, there are moments in life when the road feels heavy, when the storms inside feel too loud to carry alone. Through some of my hardest seasons, this community has been a light for me. Every message, every shared story, every prayer, every moment of kindness remind me that I was never truly alone. Connecting with souls who understand the same struggles, emotions, awakenings, and healing journeys has helped carry me through more than words can explain. Sometimes just knowing someone truly understands can soften what once felt unbearable. And then I just want you to think about that, really think about those words, and you can read the rest. You can stop, this video, and you can read the rest because I want to get through other stuff. But this is so important, and you can, of course, read it within the community itself. But really think about the words that Sister Angela shared there. And, it's so important. Sister Honey's talked about it's about this community. It's about us coming together and working together on the new earth. And what's so beautiful about Step Into Your Power is we have this free community for anybody who wants to come in and wants to work on themselves. Like we talked about, you're working on your relationship with the divine, whatever you call the divine, the source of everything. You wouldn't be breathing without it. And you're working on yourself. And then when you're working on yourself and you start sharing your journey, you actually are helping uplift others, like what's happening with Sister Angela. And that's just one testimony. There's so many of them. Hundreds of people are having this experience, and thousands soon will be, and then tens of thousands, and then hundreds of thousands, then millions. This is the way this whole thing is going. And I'm not saying Step Into Your Power is the only place, but I got to tell you, I have not seen a place yet that brings in the free. I mean, some people that what we're giving away, and offering to people for free, people are charging for that. And this will always be maintained free. And then we'll talk later on about Ascension Mastery for people that are in there that want to be part of building the new earth, meaning you actually want to take action. You want to be involved with us in sacred projects. You want to be involved with us with conscious communities. You want to do it. You want to jump in to it. But also as Ascension Mastery member, what are you doing? You're supporting the free community. And let me tell you something. I was talking to my son about this before we went on. I am the living example, and I don't get into what I do and who I give to, but I know this. In this reality, in this matrix, when you give, you get. Whatever you give, you get. So if you're given nastiness and evilness, you're going to get it back. But if you're given love and you're giving your energy financially to something that's doing good, that comes back to you so much that you would not even believe it. And when I talk about the Ascension Mastery, we're talking about $1 a day, less than $1 a day. But what we're doing here is we're building the community. We're over 90 some hundred people now. And we really haven't even started marketing. I got to a point now where I've got my time in alignment where I can focus on really bringing this to more and more and more people. I'm really super excited because I want more Angela testimonials. And we got, again, like hundreds of them now, and we'll be sharing them. We'll be sharing them on Facebook. We'll be sharing them and circulating them to people when we get their permission, right? Those who give us the permission. Because I want to see thousands of those. I want to see tens of thousands of those. I want to see hundreds of thousands of those. I want to see millions of those. But if you join the community and you don't take action and utilize what is there for you to utilize, then guess what happens? What happens, Sister Anne?
Well, You're
Nothing.
not going to have as much fun. Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing
right.
happens. One thing that I think is so beautiful is that you can find people. So think about community is the future, right? You can find people in your local area to go and talk to.
Yep.
So you can go to coffee, you know, with somebody that has a like mind and enjoy them. And that will get better and better as more people come in, because there are a lot of awakened beings and a lot of people that want to contribute to what we're going to be creating. And we're already creating it in the astral plane. So think about that. Like, the more that comes in, the more opportunity for you to create your own local community. So
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's already technology that's available that I've spoken about before that cleans up the biosphere, brings us back thousands of years. One unit, which, by the way, they put in Austin about 4 months ago, which I'm really super excited about. One of these units is like 1,000 Amazon rainforest worth of negative ions going up in the environment. And if you don't know what negative ions do for Mother Earth and the people, put it into any one of these AIs, do fact checking on it, and it is amazing. It is absolutely freaking amazing what negative ions do for everyone. So let me go into the next segment, sensing the subtle signals of a new era. So, what people are feeling, oh man, something new's coming. Well, Pluto's in Aquarius, you ain't getting away from it. It's happening, and it's happening bigger than it's ever happened. So and yes, it's going to be a roller coaster ride, but how you prepare yourself will be I want to enjoy the roller coaster ride.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was always scared of roller coasters. I went on the Hulk. I go on every one of them. I don't care. You know what I mean? I would just go on every roller coaster because I enjoyed them. You got to be able to make sure that it's fun and you're enjoying it. So, attuning to the subtle whispers of transformation. You were talking about that before, about listening to your higher self, listening to the divine. Talk a little bit about that before we go to the next thing.
So if you can listen to your soul, like if you remember that we're in a matrix and that your soul is your guide, if you can listen to your soul, then you're going to have a much better experience, because if your eyes can't see and your ears can't hear, your soul still does. Your soul knows all the things that are going on and is going to lead you in the right direction. So really, to me, it's been the best thing that I've ever done, to take the time to actually cultivate that relationship and open it up so that my body and my inner child can have that communication. It basically is life-changing, and it will take you into the 5D faster. So anything you can do to take the time to listen and to look at the signs after you get your information, it gets better and better. I mean, there was a point where all I did was back and forth all day long before I got onto YouTube, before I was busy all the time. All I did was go back and forth with my soul and talk all day long.
Yeah, it's really important to tune into that higher self whisper, like that whisper in your soul that you hear from the divine in your higher self. And the body's wisdom is navigating new energies. It absolutely is. And that's where this energy hygiene comes in. This is where taking care of your nervous system comes in, grounding, going out into nature, going into water, into specifically salt water. If you don't have that, taking a salt bath, having incense, that are not toxic, having candles that are not toxic, having salt lamps that are not toxic. You got to make sure that you do. Another thing, getting a grounding mat in your bed, something that you can put in. putting 100% cotton sheets. If you want to layer in between the linen, you can get organic cotton with no chemical treatments, organic 100% linen with no treatments, and they work together. They don't cancel out each other. So the cotton acts as a grounding, and then the linen is the energizing, frequency, 5,000 hertz, by the way. And if you just go to Google's AI and you put in that, does cotton, 100% organic cotton ground out or do anything to hurt the frequency of 100% linen? And when it comes back from Google and tells you, it's freaking amazing what it says. And it says exactly what I just said. And it's so important that you're looking around in your environment and getting everything out of your environment, including your clothing, that is not serving your highest purpose. You have to educate yourself on that if you're not already educated. Put that in the comments too. Do you do that already? Are you not doing that? It's so important to do that. Okay? It's so important to make sure that you are protecting your body's energy, because that's what's running everything. And when you've got problems with your energy body, that's when it goes into this physical body, which is like 72% water. Yeah. My son put a great post up. Did you see that post he put up about water?
Yeah.
In the circle?
Brilliant.
Brilliant. I mean, his posts, by the way, are on fire, my son Tommy. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. These posts.
He can make a book with his posts.
Yeah. It's amazing. And that's another benefit about being in the circle, in the Step in Your Power community, because you're getting messaging from Sister Honey, you're getting daily from me too, you're getting from my son Tommy and other people like Sister Angela and Sister Nancy and Brother Vaughn. And I mean, there's so many beautiful people that really care about you, that truly care. But if you join and you sit back, you can sit back and watch for a while. But, in life, a lot of people want change, but they're not willing to put the action behind the change. Like, let me give you an example. And Sister Honey, you talked about how you start your day. If you start your day in a rush, you're making the wrong move. You gotta start your day slowly. If you need to wake up earlier, do it. Start your day slowly. My alarm clock goes, I get up, the dog was coughing last night. I was like, oh, wow. But I get up usually about 5 o'clock. Sometimes I'll get up at 4 o'clock. Cindy gets up with me usually at the same time. But if my alarm goes off at 5, I'll spend 15 minutes just in my mind visualizing and doing affirmations. And then I get into the restroom, and us men stay in the restroom longer than you women do. But then I go in the restroom and I'm on Step in Your Power, and I'm loving everybody, and I'm commenting, and I'm doing the affirmations in the practice portal. I'm going through all the daily ones, just leaving the evening one. Why am I doing that? Because that first 30 minutes of your day, if you set it right, and then I work on I got all these prayers and declarations I do, 35 minutes it takes me to go through that. And then I do my Tai Chi Gong, and then I leave and I go over to the ocean most days, and I go in the ocean over there and I clear all of my energy centers, call them chakras, call them whatever you want. So it's about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes for me. But if you just take that half an hour, it's powerful. Mm-hmm. It's powerful. You need to do it.
It is.
You
It's
need
really
to do
powerful.
it. You need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So recognizing the divine intelligence within the shift. So there is a divine intelligence within the shift. And this is why we continue to talk about building your relationship with the divine. Talk more about that, Sister Honey.
Well, if you think about all the beings that are working on this, first you have the oneness that's saying, okay, we're not doing all this crazy fighting with each other anymore. I'm sick of that. So we're going to learn a different way. So that's changed within the whole oneness, the whole universe, the whole source. That idea has shifted, right? And that only happened a little while ago. It was like 2023 when that came in. And it finally was achieved right, through the universe. Now we're in a space where it's humanity that's still in the process of their ascension, of getting back into the fifth dimension. We're already on the fifth density, so that's your physical body. We've already shifted out of the 3D. And a lot of you will have noticed that. And a lot of us are still purging stuff too because of that. We're purging out 3D ideas, we're purging out 3D programs. But as we shift, that relationship, that divinity, you want to be more and more in touch with it. Yeah. And I kind of lost the plot a little bit.
No, it's about connection to the divine, because the divine is the utmost intelligence, and all of this is unfolding exactly how it needs to unfold. You had talked earlier about, everybody setting these timelines. If you go back and watch the Patriot and Lama shows, and I never set timelines because, timelines can change, and they are changing like that. And why should we all be in that instant gratification mode? We all feel like, this is going to happen overnight. There's a lot of people out there talking about all these different things, that this will just change overnight. Humanity can't take it changing overnight. It has to be rolled out over Pluto and Aquarius, the next 2 decades. What you're going to see is going to be massive change, massive shaking, massive crumbling. These next couple years, probably, you're going to see a lot of these old systems falling apart, more and more of them, even years to follow. And come 2044, this thing is going to be completely different.
Yeah, it'll be so different by then. It will be beyond the Jetson age. So if you remember that cartoon, it'll be beyond that. It'll be beyond the Star Trek age, really, too, because they were still doing polarity. They were still, getting into skirmishes. Everything was about drama, and there was some kind of weird, crazy thing happening. We're not going to be doing that anymore. We're going to be learning in a different way, which means we have to also let go of the dramatic, the big drama. I feel like that's the next step. And we're going to probably see a whole lot of drama as this unfolds. But it's really, that's what humanity's used to. And that's what is going to make an impact on a lot of people that are still in their awakening process. So if you see it and you know about it, then there's no reason to look at it. So I think there's just no reason. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you do belong to this larger unfolding. You do belong to it. You are an important part of it. Don't think you're not part of this complete change, because you wouldn't be here if you weren't.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even be watching this video right now. You probably wouldn't even be in this incarnation at the moment. Right? I mean, you just wouldn't be. One of the things I want to talk about before we go to the next segment is a little bit about the energy wellness that we get involved in. This band that you see me wearing, you see Sister Honey also wearing that band. This gives you over 300 frequencies, helps protect you against EMF radiation, the effects of it, right? There's not good effects. Go look, you can go and search anything about it. Yeah. Well, the combination of this one and that disc alone, and they last about 1 year. Okay, and the link is in the description. Also, you can see the link here, bodyline.com power, and it helps us with the free community. Between the Ascension Mastery members and the Bodyline Energy Wellness, which is here to help you, protect you. The technology has been being worked on for 20 years, been getting optimized and evolved. Millions of these around the planet, and over 5,000 5-star reviews. So very, very powerful. And again, on your phone, on your wrist, the combination is over 400 frequencies that help you in so many ways. and majorly keeping you focused, keeping some energy, but protecting you against this frequency attack. Because if you don't understand that you're under a frequency attack, you need to do some more research, because you absolutely are. And again, it helps us with the free community, because, you know, our goal over the next few years is this community, and what we're getting from our higher selves is in the millions, you know, by the end of this 2030. Sister Honey's getting it even faster, but I'm feeling, you know, within the 2030 range, you know, it's going to happen. And what's so beautiful about that is everybody in the community, just in this community, just in the Step in Your Power community, working with myself and Sister Honey and my son Tommy and other beautiful people that's in this community, and we're all of us are raising our frequency. Do you know what's going to happen on this planet? I mean, and then we bring out the technology that I have access to with the Z systems. You only need 350 of them around this planet, and the whole thing shifts back thousands and thousands and thousands of years with the biosphere, and tremendous amounts of negative ions going in. People won't want to fight wars, because if you look at, no, they don't need to. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But if you look at the lack of negative ions, one of the things is anxiety, depression, anger, all kinds of negative stuff. And we got to get rid of all that negative stuff. It doesn't serve a purpose, and it is going to be eventually gone. And there's other planets out there that don't use money, and they live in abundance like you've never seen. And with the AI and robotics and where we're headed, massive change has to happen. Massive change. Yeah. Because to create stuff, it's going to be so cheap to create things and so abundant that massive change is going to be happening. We'll talk about that at a different time, but it's going to be massive. And as we get through it, on the other side of it, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be really, really beautiful for everybody. So the next one that we want to talk about is the power of your presence in shaping the new. We talked about that, right? We hit some of these we have our bullet points that we want to make sure we cover it, but sometimes we cover it before we get to it, and it's okay as long as we covered it. Moving forward, grounded in your truth, you know, your truth of who you truly are, and grounded in it, believing it. Talk about that a little bit, Sister Honey.
Well, I would say if you're going to step into your power, do it barefoot and stand there. You know, get solid. Get solid in who you are. And for a lot of people, that means creating boundaries for themselves, for what they'll interact with and what energy they'll accept. That's important stuff, because we don't need to accept negative energy. We don't need to pad anyone else's energy, and we can just love, and that's it. You know, like, just love them. Let them figure it out. And if they ask you a question, then answer it. But otherwise, you're not there to be vampired on. You know, a lot of us have allowed a lot of our energy to be pulled at, and that's not really appropriate in this new way that we're moving forward. Keep your energy and just emote love and send love out, but don't let anybody steal it from you, and really stand in your power, because you are beautiful and you're here to do something amazing. And whether you do that while you're just standing in a forest, or you do that in amongst thousands of people, either way, it's wonderful.
It really is. And it's you know, it's amazing when we're talking about our freedom, you know, having that true freedom and being part of this transformation. And my Reiki master, Jose, today, he lived in Spain. He moved here about 2.5 months ago, and he's been a Reiki master, or working on Reiki since 2002, 2004, somewhere around that. So I feel this. My energy is like 10 nuclear reactors. He told me when he came in here, it like blew him away. He knew something was up. But at the end of the day, I could feel his energy, and we were talking about, what's going on and the transformation. And, he feels this freedom because it just came to him that he had so much obligation. He had so much, stuff that was stopping him from progressing with what he's here for. And he just decided, I'm shedding all that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. You got to shed things that aren't serving your highest purpose. Get rid of them. You truly find, like, if like, it's my birthday today. I'm 61 years young, but I'm here with you folks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here with you folks. I am. I didn't have to be, I could have been over freaking it. Yeah. I'm here with you. I love you all. I want to see you all step into your power. I want to see you all thrive in your life like you never have before. And you can, and you will, if you believe you will, because the mind is going to think. No matter what you do, the mind is going to think. When you're in this experience, the mind's going to think. But you got to start monitoring your mind. And like, when I get a thought that I feel doesn't serve my highest purpose, what I say to it is, any thought that comes into my mind that does not serve my highest purpose, I lovingly let it go and turn it into pure energy. Any thought that's not mine, I return to sender with love. So if you got a thought that doesn't sync with your highest purpose, then let it go with love. Don't judge yourself about it, because the thoughts are all out there, by the way. They're floating around, they're flying around, they're coming. So you just need to send them away when they aren't in alignment with who you truly are. And who you truly are is you're part of divinity. You're made in the Creator's image. You are powerful. Know it, live it, feel it, embody it. And your life will change like you've never seen before. Okay? Never. And you'll want to do things because you're meant to do it, like what we're doing here with Step Into Your Power, what I'm doing with Body Align, Energy Wellness. My mother died from 64 from complications with all kinds of medical stuff, the current healthcare system. My brother died at 40. I am on a mission to bring energy wellness to the world, okay, to the world. I mean, in a big way. And the latest, greatest energy wellness centers, the wellness centers, okay? Because robotics aren't going to replace wellness centers right now. You know what I mean? We still have to have the spiritual side, and the wellness side really have to be, human, connection. We have to have that, right? Mm-hmm. And embracing the identity of the new creation. We all are part of it. We are it. Talk about that a little bit, Sister Honey, before we get into our last segment here.
Well, think about how the balance is going to be in the future. When you think about robotics, and I've been seeing this one lady talking about how she's going to have a house-wide Hoover system, and she's really excited to not be cleaning anymore. So am I. And I will have a robot for that eventually. I think we all will if we want one. But think about, what will we be doing in the future? We're going to be outside a lot more. We're going to be doing things together a lot more. We're going to be in the organic matrix, which is nature, a lot more. And we're going to use the technology to help us do things that we don't want to do anymore, and that will just kind of help us get word out to people or whatever. It's going to be used like an assistant. So technology is going to enhance our lives, and have good intention with the technology. Right now, we're using technology that's having a hard time keeping up with us. And it is also emitting frequencies that we don't like, which is why we wear these. But eventually the technology will be beneficial. And use it in whatever form it is for whatever's best for you right now, so that you can make your life easier. And the future is balance. It's more time with yourself, your friends, your family,
Yes.
and less time working, more time creating. So that's where we're going. And I think I'm really excited for that myself.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do with cleaning up Mother Earth. We have a lot of work to
Yes.
do to make people responsible and not dump garbage into the rivers that flow into the oceans, okay, and that hurt our living beings that are living beings in the oceans. We have a lot to do with respecting life, because we call ourselves humanity, but you look around, there ain't too much human about what is going on. But the good news is a lot of it's starting to collapse, and it's going to accelerate the collapsing of it. And that's a beautiful thing. And we are going to get through it in a way that we come out again at the other side in a much more beautiful place where everybody has food, water, shelter, energy. We could have energy right now that we don't need oil, we don't need gas, we don't need any of that stuff. Now, it might take a few years to roll it all out, but we have technology that's been suppressed forever for free energy.
Mm-hmm.
And energy, without energy, you can't have the lights, you can't, the water pump, you can't have all of this stuff. So all of this is getting ready to shift like you've never seen before. It's going to take some time, but there is progress happening. You just have to see it and tune yourself into that frequency and tune yourself out of what's called the fear porn frequency. I see so many of these people that call themselves influencers, and I don't ever want to be called that. I'm just Brother Jimmy. I'm a normal person, but I see them doing this fear porn to all these poor people. And then I can't even believe the amount of people that watch their YouTube videos, like hundreds of thousands of people tuned in. It's like most of humanity, it wants to tune into the fear porn. They want to feel that fear. And I understand it, because when I was awakened in the early 2000s on what was going on with our money supply and all of that, and the straw man and all these things, the Social Security, everything, okay, I got sick. And then I got tuned in to Brother Alex Jones, and I was like a crackhead with Alex Jones. I've never been a crackhead, but I was like a crackhead with Alex Jones. The fear porn, the fear porn, the fear porn, the fear porn, the fear porn. I couldn't get enough of the fear porn. And what you need to understand is that's not good, because that's putting your frequency into that. And then you're attracting more things to be afraid of. When what you need to do is spend more time watching videos like this, spend more time playing healing frequency music, 432 hertz, 528 hertz, right? 963 hertz. There's so many of them, 174 hertz. Fill your environment with music. Cindy and I have music playing in our home that is frequency music. And what does it do? It absorbs into our environment. I sometimes hear that music playing and it's not playing.
Me too. Like when I wake up in the morning, there'll be music.
And it's not playing.
No, it's not
absorbed into the walls. And I'm hearing it from the frequencies that absorb the walls, but that's a powerful thing. So let's get into our last segment here. And I appreciate you all being here with us and going through this. Hopefully you found value so far in what we've talked about. And please put your comments in the comments wherever you're watching this. And also, for those that you are a part of the community, please put your comments in about what's going on in the community for you, because if your comment brings somebody to the community and that helps. We had one person say that this community saved their life. It's right on YouTube. It's a comment. I was like, it's just amazing what's happening. And it's not about myself or Sister Honey or my son Tommy. It's about all of us together, all of us supporting each other. So let's go to affirming your place in this emerging world. Do you have a place? Of course you do. And you need to affirm it within yourself. So receiving the affirmation, I am grounded in the emerging truth, because what this emerging world is truth. Because what we have is anything but truth. Everything is built on lies right now. The political system, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, and I'm not saying there's not good churches, so don't please try to be mean to Brother Jimmy, because I'll delete you anyways. But the religious establishments, think about all of the evil that's been done in the name of religion. Okay? There's so much lies, there's so much suppression of information. And in this new world, all of that will come to the table. You don't need to indoctrinate yourself with all of the bad stuff. Most of us already have been hearing it. It's come out more and more since 2020. It's come out more and more and more. We've been hearing it. Let's focus on the new earth. Let's focus on increasing our frequency together as a community and helping change this planet like never seen before. Your feeling about that, Sister Honey?
Well, I think really what we're in different stages. So people that are watching the scary stuff, they are not done with their research with the scary stuff yet. Most of us are done with that. And we woke up years ago to what scary things were going on, and we're not interested anymore. So we're ready to start creating the new, and they will follow that when they're ready.
Right.
So just letting them do their thing. If they're freaked out and they come to you and they say, I'm so freaked out, then you can say, well, that's not my perspective, and this is what I think. Then they came to you for that answer. But really thinking about what your role is, I feel like the purpose, the first purpose, which you might already be doing, that you want to be doing in this new world, is about to be inspired. It's that spark of that knowledge is about to come in for a lot of people. And I think focus on that. Focus on you. Focus on what gives you passion, what gives you excitement, what makes you happy, what lights you up, because that energy is going to spread out. If you're excited, then you're going to send all that joy out into the collective. And I would say that's our biggest job here, is to be happy, be excited, and to go forward with love, with whatever it is we're inspired to do.
Yes, it's powerful. Feeling your unique contribution to the new creation. That's what you just talked about. Yeah. Feeling your unique contribution to the new creation. You are unique, and you are contributing to the new creation. Mm-hmm. The felt sense of belonging to something larger. This is big. This is bigger than anything that's ever happened in the history of this planet's existence. This is bigger than any time ever. I'm here this time around to finish business, meaning the agreements that I've made in many, many, many lifetimes, and I'm not going to get into all that right now, but so many you don't even understand. Okay, and it's not that you don't understand, you probably wouldn't believe it, but a lot. Okay, and Sister Honey too, my son Tommy, and a lot of you watching, you know what I mean? A lot of folks, my wife included. I'm here to finish it. I'm here to finish it. And that is something big. We are in something big. We're all here. A lot of us are here to finish it. To finish it. So this is bigger than any time that this in history of this planet's existence. And you are belong to something big. You belong to something bigger than anything ever. And then carrying this truth forward in your being, you got to embody this. You got to believe. I was with this they call them prophets, and he said, Brother Jimmy, your gifting is faith. Oh, I'm glad, mm-hmm. Because if you don't believe, how are you going to achieve if you don't even believe?
Yeah.
You won't. So, yeah. Sister Honey, we've been on here. You have any comments about that? And then we're gonna close this up today.
No, I think that was great. So let's let's close it up. I think everybody's got it, that this was beautiful, and that you guys know how special you are. That's the main thing.
Yep. And we, again, offer an invite to you to stepinyourpower.com. Come on in. If you want to be an observer, be an observer. You know, as the shaking happenings, all this UFO stuff coming out, all these religious establishments shaking to the core, more and more people won't be observers. They'll actually be contributing. And that's what you need to do. You need to take action if you want to truly change your situation, if it isn't suiting your highest purpose. But we love you all very much. Thank you for staying with us today. Continue your comments and communicate with each other. We love you very much. Take care, folks.
Love you
Bye-bye.
guys.